Look, fans, if you thought Newcastle United was going to stay put in this transfer market, you can change your mind now. The name of an old target has resurfaced strongly, and an unexpected twist in another negotiation could change the course of decisions at St. James's Park. So, like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because today's news could touch the Magpies' heart. The transfer market pages have once again been buzzing with a name familiar to Newcastle fans: Conor Gallagher. Remember him? The same one Chelsea lost after Euro 2024 and who ended up at Atletico Madrid despite being the Blues' captain? Well, the English midfielder seems not to have completely buried his desire to return to the Premier League, and more specifically, to wear the black and white jersey. The most curious thing? Despite claiming to be happy in Spain, sources close to the player assure us that he would indeed be interested in a return to English football, and not to just any team. Former scout for clubs like Manchester United, Sunderland, and Tottenham, Mick Brown, got straight to the point. Gallagher would like to play for Newcastle United. The thing is, the Colchoneros paid around $33 million for him, and if any club shows interest, Atletico would be willing to sell him for the same amount. But the question is, will Newcastle pounce? Eddie Howe is a fan of the Englishman's style of play. And now that Sean Longstaff has been traded to Leeds, a clear gap has opened up in midfield. Gallagher would be more than a replacement, he would be a step up in quality. He made 50 appearances last season, and even in a subpar year for Atletico, was one of the standouts in the squad. In theory, the interest makes sense, but will financial constraints allow it this time? A year ago, PSR blocked any progress. Now, with more space and a vision to strengthen the squad to aim for the top, the scenario could be different. It's worth keeping an eye on, fans, because Gallagher at Newcastle isn't a lie. While Gallagher rekindles hopes, another name that was on the Magpies' radar seems to be fading. James Trafford, who had been closely monitored by Newcastle, has now become a target of Manchester City itself. Yes, the same city that let the goalkeeper leave in 2023 now wants to re-sign him. Ederson is on the decline, Ortega could leave, and the club needs a new owner to take the reins. Trafford, who had a great season at Burnley with 29 clean sheets, has grown significantly since leaving the Etihad. And according to The Telegraph, the old dream of playing for City still haunts him. Trafford's mind is already focused on this possible return, which could seriously disrupt Newcastle's plans. And what does Newcastle think of this? For now, there's no need to despair. The board is already considering shelving this negotiation. With the citizens' potential move, the Magpies aren't likely to insist. After all, they still have Nick Pope as their undisputed starter and are confident he'll return to full strength. Of course, the interest in Trafford was legitimate, but Newcastle's project doesn't hinge on a single name. The club is focused on strengthening players specifically and won't go to auction for a player who now appears to have another destination in mind. The week has started hot for Newcastle fans. On the one hand, Gallagher's name could be back on the agenda with a vengeance. On the other, Trafford is no longer a priority. But if there's one thing this club has shown, it's that the work behind the scenes is serious. The squad is being shaped to improve, and the coming weeks promise even more moves. So, you know, right? Stay tuned here at Magpies News, because as soon as any news comes in, you'll be the first to know. Until next time.